covered how to stop the attack, how to drive back into them. Now we have to finish it. Finishers are a little iffy, and we were actually just discussing this stuff obviously works. There's countless battlefield records on this stuff going back all the way to the 1920s, which is why it's so deadly. But depending on the muscle mass of the other person is dependent on how hard you're going to have to fight. When you're driving back into the person, they don't really have much of a choice because nobody's neck, throat, face, right, or groin, shins can really take that much punishment to avoid them driving back. But when we're talking about finishing somebody, it's a lot more complicated than finding the specific spot on their face that you're going to punch them that's going to knock them out. All right, we have to be a lot more general because we need to get out of this situation. This is not a fight. This is survival. So why don't we start from the ground? All right, if we want, go ahead, go, just drop to the ground. If somebody falls over, all right, you drove them off balance, they suddenly collapse for whatever myriad of reasons, you don't follow them. You need to finish this fight. You have to determine right now whether this person is out and going to follow you or whether you need to do some more harm. All right, this is called escalating force. It is your responsibility to make this judgment call. I can't tell you what to do right now. It all depends on the situation. I can tell you how to finish the fight, and I'm going to. All right, but you have to make that determination of whether this fight needs to be finished. Remember, your job is to stop the assault. Right now, this assault is stopped. All right, however it took for me to get him on the ground, he's laying there like a dead fish and not moving. All right, my job is to now go, call the police, get out of the area, do whatever. I do not need to finish the fight. If he's, stand back up, sorry that I made you lay up and down, but come on in. All right, if I drove him to the floor somehow and he's still coming back at me, right, and I need to finish this fight now, here's the finisher. All right, if he's getting back up, you can, of course, edge a hand him to the top of the head. Doesn't matter. This stuff's not going to hurt your hand. You can tiger claw him back to the floor. Right. Once he's there, boom, you put your boots on them. This is one of the things. It doesn't matter. Lay your legs flat so I don't break your legs. All right. You can stomp on the ankle. You can stomp on the knee. You can stomp on the groin. I mean, stomp on the hands. Again, stay away from center mass. Muscle, big muscles. Everybody's got generally developed pecs or lats, so it's sort of like armor if you step on their chest or their back, but nobody's got armor on their wrists, their elbows, their fingers, their ankles, their knees, their face, their neck. I'm not going to really stomp on you, don't worry about it. All right, but the whole point is turn sideways so we can, turn this way so we can see. What you really want to happen is you want to bounce, just like against the wall, you want to bounce their head against the ground. You do not want to get down there with them. All right, this is not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match. All right, you need to make that bounce. If they're coming back at you, you're afraid for your life, you need to make that head bounce against the ground. And the best way to do that is just stomp right on their face. All right, this will kill somebody. All right, it amazes me. You can get back up, thanks. It amazes me how hard it is when people are actually trying to kill each other for somebody to die. And then on the vice versa, how easy it is when you get two little kids fighting on the playground. One gets knocked over, falls, bangs her head, and gets a blood clot and dies. It's just crazy how resilient the human body is when you're trying to accomplish something, and how weak it is when you're not trying to cause it harm. So the idea of, let's do the Hollywood thing. The idea of people going up and cracking necks, and that's total nonsense. That's called a chiropractic adjustment. It doesn't work like that, right? To kill someone, you have to cut off their air supply to their brain, cut off their blood supply to their brain, or you have to cause trauma to something that's causing their body to function, which is the heart. And again, with your bare hands, you're not getting at that heart. I don't care what you're doing. So the only chance you have is head versus concrete versus wall versus steel, whatever you got, versus your heel and full body weight stomping on their head. Not pretty, not pleasant, but that's not what this is about. It's why stomps are illegal in all mixed martial arts competition, because like we saw whether it's head, wrists, arm, body, anything. Full body weight stomp not only causes major, major trauma, but can kill. So let's go to something a little less violent. Maybe you need to stop the fight. Maybe you need to or want to take the person down. Maybe you, it's sort of like in an intermediate part of the attack where you have now driven them back, right? And you feel that they're weak, right? But you feel that, and this is what's amazing. I don't mean to just kind of stop, but when this attack first starts, you can't control yourself, right? You are now afraid whether the guy's posturing in your face or that he's coming after you with a knife or a gun, which we're going to cover. You're afraid for your life. You can't think. But what's amazing is that as soon as you drive back in and your heart rate stops dropping, you can make these kind of split-second decisions because you have no fear. If he's backing up on his heels, there's no fear anymore, right? You have all the fear is on him, right? He's afraid, holy crap, who the hell did I just attack? Right? What the hell is it? Now I have to get out of here. What criminals and thugs want to do is be bullies. They want to attack and throw their weight around and accomplish whatever it is without them getting hurt. The minute you turn the tides on them, whoosh, their heart rate goes up, they can't think, your heart rate goes down, you can think. So we're at the point in the fight where I've driven them off balance. All right, I need to get out of here. But if I run, there's a chance that maybe him or his buddies or something else, all right, maybe he's got a gun on him, maybe he has a knife. Remember, we have to prepare for the worst. All right, he hasn't pulled a knife yet, but maybe he has one. All right, so let's break his arm. All right, sound good? All right, so we drove him off, all right, grab that Irish whip, all right, and now whether it's the arm, all right, you have to go against the elbow, either uppercut on here, gross motor, still boom, all right, you're just straightening it out, or if the arm's turned over like this, just come right down, edge of hand, right above the elbow. That's all it is, all right? This is not technically breaking an arm, all right? When you break an arm, you're actually breaking a bone. What this is doing is hyperextending the arm. And you can do this, I mean, every single grappling art on the planet has ways to tap somebody out by hyperextending the elbow, and you'll see in even Olympic judo, this is what they go for immediately because this is the fastest way to make somebody tap out because you can't control the pain. You can't, you see, you can't, you can't fight back. All right, you can't, if he's trying to hit me with that other hand, all right, it doesn't matter. And I'm just using my hand. Imagine I'm using my forearm on this and I drag him out, all right, and here, now I stomp on it while his arm's straight. That's it. Arm's gone, all right? If he still wants to follow you and fight you after his elbow's been hyperextended, well, it's going to be kind of hard for him to, it doesn't really matter. Then you can start making things up because with one arm, he's good as dead, honestly. So let's go over the arm break one more time from the whole sequence, all right? You're minding your business, some guy's yelling at you, blah, blah, blah. Boom, all right? Finger dart. Again, doesn't matter. Finger dart, kick the shin, boom, cross, boom, boom. Grab Irish whip, up and down. Again, up and down. You have this here, slam your forearm, just like the edge of your hand up on the neck, boom, right into the elbow. All right. This itself, there's I don't know. Nobody actually knows how many pounds of pressure it takes to do this. Like some people say 15, something like that. It's not a whole lot. It really depends, again, on how much muscle mass they have, but that's really only counts if the arm's bent. If their arm's bent, you ain't getting this, right? You can do this all you want, and it's not going to do anything. Even if it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt his tricep, but I'd have to come back across his face to straighten it out again, right? To straighten it out. Now it's straight, all right? I don't care how much muscle mass he has. If his arm's straight and I slam 190 pounds, boom, right on his tricep above his elbow, this arm is getting injured. All right, whether he goes down from here, we can talk about that later. But again, this is the arm break or elbow break finisher. Irish whip, edge of hand. Irish whip, uppercut. All right, nothing wrong. The only wrong thing to do is stop.